Today, we finally got to see the reveal of Path of Exile's Scourge expansion. There was quite a lot of important things shared with us, so I thought I'd make a quick video highlighting the important bits. So let's get started. In Scourge, you'll be given an item called the Blood Crucible, which will be socketed into your body. As you kill enemies, your Blood Crucible will fill with the blood of the slain monsters. Once it reaches a certain threshold, you can activate the device, which will bring you into a different apocalyptic reality. The more blood you have collected, the more time you will have to spend here, but the longer you stay, the more damage you will take. When you run out of blood, or you choose to end the encounter, you will instantly be returned to your original location in Rayclast. Before you start your encounter, you can put an item into the Crucible that will absorb corruption from the Scourge encounter, modifying it unpredictably. It will receive a pair of Scourged modifiers, one of which will make the item stronger, the other will make it worse. There are a lot of modifiers that can make your item much stronger, but the negative modifiers become much worse to compensate. You can corrupt an item using the Blood Crucible 3 times, each time overriding the previous modifiers and adding new and more powerful ones equal to the tier of which was applied. Since players will be corrupting items more frequently, they've added tainted chromatics, jewelers, and fusings that work on corrupted items. These can be found within the Scourge realm. The Blood Crucible also gains experience and can level up, giving you skill points to spend on its own passive skills. This allows you to specialize how your Crucible functions. You can unlock all of the passives, but it will take you a long time. When you get to endgame, you'll be able to socket maps into your Crucible, which also gives maps a good and bad modifier, but also gains a mod that changes the way the Scourge encounter behaves in that map. You can transform maps up to 10 times, increasing the risk and rewards each transformation. New unique items. There are 6 new unique items, 3 of which can be found in the core drop pool and the other 3 can be found in specific aspirational content areas. Ulnatol's Vow essentially turns your body into a 7-link item. The support gem you socket into this amulet applies to your body armor, including corrupted or awakened support gems. The Mage Blood Belt is one of the strongest items ever added to Path of Exile. It permanently enables a certain number of your utility flasks without you having to use any of them yourself. This belt is in the core drop pool and will be very rare. I'm personally looking forward to never finding one. Atlas improvements. The Atlas has been reduced to 4 different regions. This means the number of watchstones required have been reduced to 16 from 32. There are approximately 100 maps, plus the unique maps now, and the bonuses for completing your Atlas have been rebalanced so that when your Atlas is complete, you will receive slightly higher level of benefit than you did before. There are only 4 Atlas passive trees now, plus the Uncharted Realms. Each passive tree has more passives, and some redundant or unused passives have been removed entirely. This will make getting to endgame much quicker. Unveils. When you unveil a modifier, it now unlocks all tiers of that modifier on your crafting bench, including the very rare ones. Oh yeah! Aspirational Content. A lot of older leagues have received buffs and have had additional challenging and rewarding content added to them. There are flawless breach stones that are now the pinnacle of breach content. They are much more difficult and more rewarding. This is where you will find the Ulnatol's Vow amulet, as well as special versions of the Grasping Mail armor with fractured mods themed around the breach they are found in. Blight can now drop Blight Ravaged maps that are of course more difficult and more rewarding. You can have up to 9 anoints on the Ravaged maps with no more than 3 of the same anoint. Legion now has unrelenting emblems that can be mixed and matched with timeless emblems to make the encounters more difficult and rewarding. Delirium encounters have an additional 10 waves and have increased chances of dropping additional Delirium specific uniques past wave 20. Delirium orbs are much more common, and Prophecy and Talisman Delirium orbs have been removed. And lastly, Delve has been buffed at earlier levels, but also made to be more difficult. Fossils and resonators will be more common in Delves and less common outside of them. Alchemical resonators have been removed and some weaker fossils have been buffed. And lastly, players will also be able to start at a depth that is more appropriate to their character level when first visiting the mine encampment. Passive tree rework. The passive skill tree has seen a significant rework, but Chris has promised us that it will still feel familiar to PoE veterans. Each class starting area has been improved, there are new clusters of skills, they've improved existing clusters, and there are 6 new keystones, while some existing ones have been tweaked. But the most interesting feature added to the tree are passive masteries. All passive clusters that have a notable passive now have a passive mastery in them. All masteries share a pool of passives with other similar passive clusters, allowing players to grab niche passives for their builds without having to travel all over the tree for them. These masteries require a passive point, and the entire cluster around them must be allocated to take advantage of the mastery. New skill gems. There are 4 new skill gems and 6 new party-oriented skill gems. The party skill gems allow the player using them to link with other players close to them. These players will receive different buffs depending on the skills used, like receiving the block chance of the supporting player and splitting damage between the players. I will be making another video covering these skills in detail, so keep an eye out for that. Item drop stacking. There will be a new system where currency items drop less frequently, but when they do drop, it will be in stacks. The amount within the stacks will increase as you progress through the game. This has also been applied to systems that drop a bunch of items all at once, like Delve, Incursions, Breaches, etc. Guild and hideout improvements. You can now control-click items into the guild stash, and you can use unique stash tabs within guild stashes such as the divination tabs, currency tabs, etc. You can export a CSV file of your guild stash for those exciting and fun-filled auditing nights with the bros. Guild hideouts have finally made their way to PoE. This is something that I know many people have wanted for quite a while, so it's pretty cool that it's coming with this expansion. And lastly, the favor system has been removed, so you can now use all of the hideout decorations, and a new filter system has been added to them to make sifting through all the decorations a bit easier. Expedition going core. As we all expected, Expedition is going core, but with some minor tweaks. Artifacts will no longer be tradable, but will automatically be collected when you complete an expedition. You'll come across expeditions from Act 6 onwards, and there have been Atlas passives added specifically for Expedition content. As the devs have previously mentioned, they will be getting rid of outdated leagues to replace them with new ones, so Expedition will be taking the place of Parandus. Good riddance, you useless bastard. I knew months ago that this league was going to be amazing, but I had no idea that it was going to be this amazing. I think the new passive mastery system has me the most excited, but honestly it's hard to choose. I'd love to hear what your favorite parts of the reveal were, so let me know in the comments. And if you had no favorite parts, then you can leave a comment telling me how your chronic halitosis impacts your social life. Anyways, thanks for watching guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Path of Exile content.